How are you boys doing?
Good.
I'm tired as all hell because
You're in the middle of moving right now, aren't you?
By the time this comes out, I would have finished moving. Yes.
Yeah.
But like literally tomorrow is the moving day for me. So I have been just scrambling for the past week, just like cleaning. I didn't realize you don't realize how much stuff you have in your house until you start cleaning
It's
your
always
house.
like that, right? Because I remember whenever I would move, like you start packing stuff up and you think to yourself, it's going to take a day at most.
Yeah.
And you pack up like all the main stuff in like a day and you're like, oh, I'm 90% of the way packed. And then for some reason, all the like the little shit that just gets left over, that takes like 2 days.
Like,
to
let me
figure out-
introduce ourselves.
Because you own, like, I feel like 50% of the items you own, you never think about, but you think you need them.
Yeah. You also never see them either because they're like either
Yeah.
put in a closet or like, kind of out of sight somewhere, right? But
Like when
like
you have like a colander, like you need a colander, but like you don't really think about it until
Right.
you start using it or until it's there. You're like, what the fuck do I do with this?
I remember
Like,
we
is
have
it cheap?
we have this like shaved ice machine that I think Maylene got it for us, but we had it for like the last summer because Maylene was
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to like come to your guys' place and like the girls can have like a kind of girls like day and we can just
Yeah.
make shaved ice or whatever. Never used it.
There's,
Oh, we did. Okay, we used it once. We
There's-
used it once, and it's just this huge brick of a thing that's just like sitting in the kitchen. I'm like, why is this here?
There's always that one drawer in every kitchen, right? That is just the unused appliance drawer, right? Where it's just these appliances that people give you as gifts or that you think is going to be cool when you host like that dinner party that never happens. And then there's just these like random appliances that just get put into this drawer and you forget you even have.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And
Yeah,
but like we have
knives
like
and forks. Use my hands. So, yeah, I need them.
yeah, but like I got this kind of cleaning service thing because one thing we're immediately going to go on to this one thing I hate about Japan, throwing away trash, right?
Okay.
And especially
Yeah.
the big trash,
Yeah.
right? Because like in Australia,
That's us.
yeah, just pick myself up. But because like I don't know about in the UK, but in Australia we have like this thing. I think it happens once every 2 or 3 months. It's called like Council Cleanup Day. So basically, what we do is we take huge appliances like couches, beds, drawers, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we literally just throw it out in front of the street, like just onto the street.
As you do.
And basically it's you throw it out, people can kind of walk around and just grab stuff if they want, like if they think I can use
Just
that
2 to
couch.
3 months.
It's like every 2 to 3 months or
How
something.
have I never seen this?
Really?
I've
In
not
Australia,
seen this.
yeah, it happens. I don't know if maybe that's just like the area
Yeah,
I grew
in
up
the UK, I don't think there's enough space to just throw.
Oh, I thought you were
throw
talking about
things.
Japan for a second.
No, not Japan. In Australia. In Australia, we
Right,
have
right,
that.
right.
Where we just throw stuff out and then big garbage truck basically comes and collects all the stuff that doesn't get picked up after like a week, I think.
Right.
Japan doesn't work like that. So like we had to throw away our bed, which is like a queen size bed,
Yeah.
a couch and like a couple of tables and like a sofa and stuff like that. A lot of big stuff. But like you can't just throw it out with the rest of the trash. You have to go to your like local council and be like, I want to throw this stuff away. And they give you these like tickets that you have to pay for.
Yeah.
To basically be like, all right, I'm throwing this out on this day, and then you throw it out onto the
And
street.
you have to book it and tell them.
You have to
Yeah.
book it.
And you have to tell them the exact measurements of the thing so
Yeah.
they can plan out the truck.
Or what I found out is there's just services out there that you can just call up and be like, I want to throw all this crap away. How much is it to get rid of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more expensive than like the whole council thing, but so much easier.
Oh, I can imagine.
I mean, it's not a price for me. It's like we talked about last week. It's just getting the paperwork done.
Yeah.
That like fucking I'm scared of.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I'm not even finished with the fucking paperwork too, because we'll have to do more after we move.
Yeah.
Because Japan is just like a never-ending sea of paperwork. But like, I was like, okay, I'm getting rid of this giant bed. I'm getting rid of this couch, this table, all these like big appliances.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, these are the big things gone. So, maybe like 30% of my belongings probably gone. It's
Right.
more like 3%.
I feel like in like your bedroom or office, there's so many little things that you just never think about.
Yeah.
Especially my office.
Yeah.
In my office, there's so many little things. I'm just like, well, first of all, I'm looking forward to like the moving company coming in and seeing like all of like my Faku skateboards and shit like that, just being like, whoa.
They'll be like, "Yo, is that a REM 8/1/8 scale?"
damn,
And you'll be
son.
just like giving them a tour of your house. Be like, "Yeah, so this is the JoJo
Like
section."
free office tour. No,
Come on in,
actually,
guys.
to be fair, when the moving guy first came in to like check to see what we had, he walked into my office and he was like, whoa.
Otaku's dream.
Yeah, it's
man.
like, wow, Jesus, this guy's got
Yeah.
a fucking
I
collection.
had like the opposite happen where like I only use my tatami room to film in, and I only use it. So I have a big tatami room that I normally do the cosplay videos in.
Yeah, you
And I'm
have
really
that.
bad, so I never clean them up after. I just leave the cosplays there until I
Right.
do the next video, and then I
Yeah.
clean it up. And then one time, they didn't tell me they were doing this, but there was like they were checking like the fire alarms in the building.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, sure, come in. And he's going around my house. He goes into my office. You know, he looks. And he's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I like JoJo. He just like, looked at me like I was a fucking weird. And I was like, all right, thanks, buddy. And then as he went to like my tatami room, I was like, oh shit. I just remembered that all my shit was in there. And so like I go in to check that he's there, and this man is just standing in the middle of like my cosplay everywhere. This stuff reeks, just holding up something to the fire alarm, just looking like, look down, don't look, don't look at anything. And then after this guy left really awkwardly, an hour later, someone else came along from the same company in the building and did the exact same thing.
Right.
And I was like, wait, why am I being checked twice?
Or is it like a spot man?
I don't know. Like I was really
Like, just got to make sure
confused.
my friend got it right, you know?
He's like, yo, I heard this free cosplay. Where's it at? Like, okay. And then I had the exact same interaction again where I was like, oh, yeah, sorry about the mess in this room.
By the
Yeah.
way, I like JoJo.
By the way, I also like JoJo. And they're like, oh, really? You fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
You fuck-
But luckily, like like as I said, I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the previous podcast episode, but like we got a service that where they just do all the packing for us.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
my God, I cannot imagine if I had to do that all myself.
God, I just kind of realized what I'm gonna have to go through when we move,
Yeah.
because my room's gonna be fine. But then I got Sydney's room, which the amount of fucking fucked up shit in Sydney's room. So
Oh, be careful. That's the pussy of the round table.
That thing's expensive.
so I remember this one time we had to get like our doorbell fixed, right? So we thought our house was pretty clean. Basically, whenever someone needs to come in to check our house at all, we just
Yeah.
make sure like Sydney's room is just fucking locked off. It's like a quarantine section. You know, that room
You
might
gotta,
as well-
you gotta put up
Shit's
like, you know,
the,
the,
like Chernobyl. Like,
Yeah,
it's like, you can't go near
you
it.
gotta,
It's
you gotta put up like
there's
the
exclusions zone.
R18 like curtains like to the doorway, right? It's like only adults
It's like
allowed.
it's like you put the fucking biohazard sign on the door just to make sure no one gets in, right?
It's radioactive. I swear.
Yeah. So how we learned our lesson was we had our doorbell fixed, and of course Sydney's room was like cordoned off. But we forget that sometimes Sydney just has shit lying about the house, right? And I guess we've just become so desensitized to some of the stuff she reviews.
Right.
My fiance reviews a lot of lewd stuff. That's her channel. So we just had like a bunch of figures that were just left in the living room with just like their tits out, right?
As you do.
Living room material.
As you
what,
do.
what living room would be complete
Oh,
without?
I see you seen my decor.
Oh, that's the mother knows breast one size real scale. You know.
So this guy just comes in, right? And the doorbell's like right next to the kitchen. And also we have a shelf right next to the kitchen, which just has two lewd, completely naked figures just right next to where the doorbell is.
Right.
He takes a looks at the figures, looks at Sydney, and just doesn't make eye contact with Sydney ever again.
He's got like hentai hair, like for a tan.
Yeah.
Just
like
hair's
covered.
covering his eyes.
Just sweating.
Yeah, and that was probably the longest fucking hour he had to like endure of his life when he was just fixing
I love
his
how he
doorbell.
immediately looked at Sydney. Like most, like you wouldn't think that like you'd look at like Gaunt, right? Being like this motherfucker, right? Just like leaving his loose shit out. No, immediately went to Sydney.
He's like,
Yeah.
God, I wish that was me.
it's
I wish my wife would let me put my dirty figures in
God,
the living room.
it's the one time whenever someone comes round and I'm just like, yo, these loose stuff, that's not me, guys, that's not me. It's
You're
it's
just
my
like,
partner.
You just like silently point
Yeah.
at
No,
Sydney's like-
seriously, it's my partner this time.
Yeah, I mean, I had to like, because I have like quite a few like Doujins and stuff like that in my bookshelf as well. So I was like, I'll pack these away before I, because like I'm with these guys for like a couple of days.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't want like an awkward experience for a couple of days as they like sift through my Doujins, being like, so what's the fragile stuff and what's not the fragile stuff?